Thanks everyone for joining us today. This is our third series of our special series webinars. It is Wednesday, October 27th. Today we're talking about Sons of Norway product portfolio. So welcome again, everyone. We're first going to get started with a deep dive on life insurance, annuities, and followed by scenarios. A couple things for housekeeping. Everyone is on mute right now. So you can ask questions as we're going through. Down in the menu bar near the bottom, just hit questions. You can ask, type in a question. At the end, we're going to go through and review all of those questions. Also, we have hundreds of people registered for this, so I want to take a moment and thank you for doing that. As a reminder, once you are registered for this webinar, whether you attend or don't attend, you will automatically receive a recording of it the next day. So again, I thank everyone for registering for this. So let's get started. I'm going to give you a moment. Fasten your seatbelts. Let's go. So first, I'm going to talk about Sons of Norway available life insurance policies. So for term, we have a 10, 15, 20, and 30-year term period. Moving over to whole life, we have, which will begin a deep dive on all of these. We have participating and non-participating. We have single premium, we have standard and simplified issue single premium. And lastly, everyone is aware of our guaranteed issue. So this webinar is designed to give you a full product rundown on what you can offer your clients besides our guaranteed issue. Last, we'll be talking about our Viking Voyager. This is our juvenile policy. Let's get started with term. So who is best suited for a term product? Well, younger clients typically, 25 to 60. Your client is in their peak earning years and would need to replace income if they were not around to support their family. They want to be sure to leave funds for paying off the mortgage or other loans. So keep in mind, term is going to be so level premiums, and it's covered for that period of 10 up to 30 years. They have that coverage in place. This is going to be the lowest premium that they can pay for that coverage. So shorter term needs, you know, they want it, what if something happens, how are they going to pay their mortgage? Income replacement. They want to pay for their children going to college. So again, this is going to be, you know, that biggest, you know, for their dollar amount, this is going to give them the most coverage. And again, this may be used, we're talking about scenarios, in addition to permanent coverage. So you can give them some term and some permanent coverage, give them the protection of both worlds. So earn commissions for 20 or even 30 years. I've been in the industry for many years. I've never seen a carrier that offers trail commissions for 20 and 30 years. So on our 20-year term and 30-year term, you receive renewals for 20 and 30 years. So if you have a younger segment of your business, consider adding Sons of Norway term products to your lineup to offer them competitively priced insurance products and give yourself an opportunity for recurring revenue for the life of the term. Next, I am going to turn it over to Mike to talk about some whole life.
Thanks, Jared. Really appreciate it. So now I'm going to talk about some whole life options that we offer between our participating and non-participating products. First, we're going to talk about the participation of our products. So a participating product is also known as a dividend. So what can your clients do with these refunds? Basically, what can happen with these dividends? Well, we have 4 different options we can choose from. Option 1 is paid up additions. Now that is basically adding additional face amount to your overall death benefit. So their dividends are paying for that throughout the line. So they may start off with 50,000. Down the line, it may come up to, let's say, 54, 55,000. And that can go for a while. The other option would be left on deposit. So that would basically be adding to their overall cash value. So adding additional in there. Third option would be to cash payment, which basically be us sending them a check in the mail and they can do with what those funds, whatever they like. The fourth and final option would be to lower their overall premium. So that basically lowers the premium on an annual basis. So let's say they get, let's say their premium's $1,200 a year and they receive $200 in dividends, their premium that year will be $1,000. So that's that kind of option. We also offer valuable riders. So those range from terminal illness, chronic illness, guaranteed purchase option, child's rider, and as well as the ability for apologize.
I'll jump in. We have again, depending upon the policy or certificate, we have an accidental death. On some of our fully underwritten, we have a critical illness and a terminal illness. So again, different ways to customize rather than in addition to just the base coverage. We have children's term riders. So you can give your clients the best coverage what they're looking for.
Thank you, Jared. Appreciate that. Furthermore, our premiums are level to age 121. So your client never has to worry about their premium ever changing whatsoever. Here is some good tips to know. Ages 0 to 50 and under 100,000, to be exact, would be 50,000 to 99,999. There is no pyramid involved. So it almost acts as a simplified issue. In some cases, maybe a little bit more, but the overall underwriting process is a lot less intense in comparison to a fully underwritten, such as pyramid involved. So definitely want to take a look into that, especially with the younger ages. You can get a little bit better. So if you guys have those options, you want to offer it to them, this will be a great option for them to look into. They can get a little more face value for less money. The other option we're going to talk about is our single premium whole life option. Now, it's a short-term investment for a long-term gain. Basically, overall, you're going to multiply your cash. And I can give you a little example here shortly, too. But the idea behind it is client's going to give us X amount of dollars. So gives us, let's say, for example, $10,000 up front. We're going to give them in coverage another amount going down the line. Depending on the age, will vary the amount we'll give them. For the example that I have, we are going to look at a male age 50, standard non-tobacco. If a client gives us $20,000, $20,632, their death benefit we give them is $50,000. So they more than double their money with that investment. So a one-time payment of $20,000 gives them $50,000. Now we're going to talk about our simplified issue. No medical exam required, just PHI, which is taken by exam 1. Depending on the one that's submitted, it could be anywhere between 2 to 3 business days after the policy is submitted. Guaranteed cash values at issue. So this is also a cool thing about this product. It's participating. So we do pay dividends on this product, which is not really common in most of these products itself. So that is a huge factor. So this product from age 0 to 59, the minimum face amount is $25,000 and the max face amount is $50,000. But once we get to age 60 and up to 74, only because of our COVID-19 restriction is only going to 74, and I'll explain a little bit more on that, is the minimum face going down to $10,000 and max $50,000. So do keep in mind with our COVID-19 restriction itself, if your client is 65 and older and has pre-existing conditions such as heart problems, COPD, asthma, diabetes, things like that, some of those major issues, so they will be automatically denied based on our COVID-19 restriction. And that goes across all of our fully underwritten products as well. So the max issue age 74, not including guaranteed issue. Guaranteed issue still goes to 85, so keep that in mind. But if you have any further questions, you need to do a risk assessment, you're welcome to call the sales team or as well as our underwriting team as well to get a little more clarity on that. Now I'm going to talk about our other single premium whole life done by simplified issue. So this is designed for those small hit quits. People want to get a certain set amount for their funeral expenses, but they have a little bit of cash to be able to throw into it. Example, male age 50, standard non-tobacco, puts in $4,251, gets grand total of 10 grand in 10 grand in death benefit. So their investment will yield them a little over $5,800 in regards to that. So they're more than doubling their money based on that factor. So which is a good investment for anybody. So having, keep that in the back of your mind. There are those options out there, and throughout time, we hope to make the process a little bit better for everybody, as well as a little bit easier to obtain. Now I hand it back over to Jared, and he's going to talk about some whole life zero refund options.
All right, thanks for all that valuable information, Mike. So I'm going to talk about our whole life, our zero refund. So what does that exactly mean? So zero refund is our name for our non-participating whole life. So Mike was talking about our participating whole life products with the 4 different dividend options. So this is non-participating. What this is going to do for your clients is offer the lowest premium for whole life for your clients. So permanent protection with all the guarantees. So they're still going to have, it's a level premium, guaranteed death benefit, guaranteed cash value, just non-participating, no dividends. Guaranteed cash value, I already mentioned. And again, this is going to be the biggest bang for your client's buck. They want permanent protection, level premiums, level death benefits, guaranteed cash value. Take in mind our zero refund. So let's compare standard whole life, meaning participating, to our zero refund for a male age 50 for $50,000 face amount. So here you can see monthly premiums on the left-hand side. With participating, premiums are going to be a little under $100. With zero refund for the same coverage, same age of the client for $80, so you're going to save your clients money. So by the age of 70, the zero refund policy provides an additional $4,080. Last product we're going to talk on the life side is our Viking Voyager Child's Term. So it's convertible to permanent insurance. So you can put this coverage in place. It is a term product, but up until the age 26, they can convert that with no evidence of insurability to permanent protection. So, say for example, you take this out on a 15-year-old, they come into some major medical impairments, they can still convert this, again, with no evidence of insurability, because they're going to want, that permanent coverage for lifetime protection. That's when we're going to want to look at, some of those whole life options that Mike and I were talking about. Also conversion credits, so valuable conversion credits up to 3 times the original face amount. Coverage in place until age 26. You have 2 different payment options. You have an annual premium, or this product offers a single premium. So a one-time premium can provide that term coverage. So lastly on this page, down at the bottom, a single payment of $362 can provide $10,000 in coverage. So one-time premium, $10,000 in coverage up to age 26, plus, as I mentioned, it is convertible. We have a brand new product sell sheet that was just introduced a couple weeks ago. So be sure to print this out when you're out there in the field. It's a nice one-page sheet you can refer to when you're out there in the field. It talks about starting on the left-hand side. Everyone knows our GI, our guaranteed issue whole life. To the right-hand side, our Viking Voyager term product. Issue ages, face amounts, as I mentioned, it's a nice one-page snapshot of all of our products to refer to. So print that off, save it onto your desktop so you have that when you're out there in the field. Next, I'm going to turn it back over to Mike. Mike enjoys talking about annuities. Mike, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Jared. Yes, Jared is right. Annuities are my bread and butter. I love them. They are what I had made my career as an agent. I really enjoyed selling them, and I love to talk about our products because they are very special and unique. So let's get rolling into it. So the first product I'm going to talk about is our single premium deferred annuity, also known as a single payment deferred annuity. This product is solely designed for a lump sum of cash get put into our annuity itself and grows interest of time. You cannot add additional money into it. It's a one-time payment into it, and we grow it over time. The surrender value on this one is 5 years itself. It's a shorter time frame, so your clients can get their money out a little bit quicker. It's perfect for those people that don't know what to do with the amount of cash they have, let's say from after retiring, things like that, and they're still waiting on seeing if they want to invest it somewhere else. You put that into our single premium deferred annuity, we'll have back access to it after 5 years. Now, keep in mind, they also can withdraw up to 5% after starting year 2 of that cash with no penalties whatsoever. So this is a great product, has a great fixed interest rate, and overall, there's no fees or so associated with it. The next one is a very particular product that I sell a lot of, I push a lot of because of the availability. This product allows people that don't have a retirement option and an option now. They can actually start saving for their future. So for those clients that you're thinking about that, let's say have a job, that work at a mom and pop shop, that, they don't offer anything like that, you now have a product you can offer them for them to start growing for their retirement future. It's called our flexible premium deferred annuity. So initially, how this product works, you're going to make ongoing payments into it like you would like a 401k, so on and so forth. Initially, depending if it's money that is, I'm sorry. So either it's a qualified fund or non-qualified fund. Qualified funds are money that's coming from a rollover, so that's $500 minimum deposit. Non-qualified fund would be a deposit of $2,000. And thereon after a minimum payment of $75 a month or more. So people can really grow their accounts over time and allow them to continue to fund it throughout itself. Because if let's say grandpa retired but has a part-time job, doesn't really need the money for whatsoever because he's got other options, he can continue to grow it and put more money into it to leave for a beneficiary down the line. I actually had an example of this happen to me the other day with an agent that called in regards to, he had a client out in Washington that worked for a government municipality. It was a county, and he moved over to the city. So what happened was that he realized that his accounts were skyrocketing up and down. They would go up high, then they'd drop really low, and he was just like, you know what, I don't know what to do with this money. I don't want to lose the gains that I just got out of it. What can I do? And he goes, I still want to grow it, but at the same time, I'm no longer working for that county, so I'm not funding that through my job anymore. I said, okay, well, I have this product for you. Gave him this option. He basically gave us 40 grand, and I ran the projections off of it, and I said, if you give us $300 a month ongoing with this initial deposit, your account's going to really skyrocket in the next 15 to 20 years. You're going to have triple the amount of money in there. And he looked at it and he goes, wow, that's actually doing better even what my current 401k is doing. I was like, well, that obviously would be determination of the client of what they're working with on that end, but that option is there. And he was so excited because that's guaranteed safe money. Like nothing's going to ever happen to it. He's always going to have that deposit in. So, with these, unforeseen changes coming in the near future, this could be a great option for those clients that are really worried about the economy potentially collapsing or things like that. Everyone has their suspicions of what's happening right now, and that's not us for decide. We just offer a product that guarantees no matter what, they're going to be safe. So this product is great for that. So if you have clients out there that, even hint at the message that they're worried about the economy, have this as an option for them. They may really eat this up, and it really does work out. Some other types of annuities we offer. Single premium immediate annuity. This product is designed for someone who has a lump sum of cash and wants a guaranteed paycheck for life or for a set period of time. So example, someone client gives us $100,000, says, I just need to make sure I make $500 a month. What kind of options do you have? Client gives $100,000. We go, okay, well, based on the amount that you're giving us, we're going to offer you $564 per month for life with this product. And some clients may realize, like, well, what happens to the money if I die? Well, there's provisions set in place that the additional amount of money can be sent to a beneficiary, but ultimately it is a risk, right? We run the risk of the fact that we'll end up paying more down the line than what we received, the client will also gets the risk that they may not receive the full value that they initially put in because they passed away sooner. So all depends on the situation. Typically, it's not something that's really offered out there the most, but at the same time, it is an option, and it could be what your client's looking for. The other option, now this is a doozy. It's called our bonus annuity. This annuity is great for somebody who has no plans with a set amount of money and wants to grow it as big as they want and get it to their beneficiary down the line. You know, they want to leave it to the grandkids, they want to leave it to the wife, so on and so forth. But example would be, client has $250,000, says, I do not need this money whatsoever. I've got my retirement set aside. It's all good to go. This money, I just want it to grow as best you possibly can. Client gives us $250,000. Our base rate interest rate is 2.25%, but our bonus at the end of the year of year one is 8% based on that amount. So they just made 10.25% their first year. That's over 25 grand in their first year off that product. That's more than some people make a year based on the fact of just putting that there on. Thereon after year one, it's 2.25 as the base rate or whatever the base rate may state going forward. Now, remember, we had that minimum no matter what, world ends, 1.15 guaranteed interest rate. I will tell you this, in the past 2 years, we have not changed our interest rates whatsoever on any of our products. So keep that in mind, and it should be a great, safe alternative for your client. Now I'm going to hand it over to Jared, and he's going to talk about some annuity features.
All right, thanks for all that valuable information on our annuities. So, starting out with Sons of Norway annuity features. Keep in mind, these are all fixed annuities. You can never lose money. So guarantee safety of principal and interest. I always say, you can never go backwards. Last year is always going to be your worst year. Mike mentioned, there's that guaranteed minimum interest rate. Currently, it is 1.15%. So your clients are guaranteed to make something. So say the stock market crashes year after year after year, they're still going to be making, more than likely in that situation, the floor of 1.15, but they're not going backwards. They're not losing money on their principal or any of their interest that they've gained. High current interest rates. We have currently the highest interest rates in the industry. Check us out on Annuity Rate Watch. We have not changed our interest rates in over 2 years. We are a very long-running conservative investment company. So in 2 years, we have not changed our interest rates. So tax-deferred accumulations, that money grows tax-deferred until you withdraw. No sales charges. So meaning that you put in $100,000, you have $100,000 immediately going to work for you. There is no annual service or administrative fees. So again, you have that $100,000, say you make 5% that first year, that $105,000 is still going to continue to work for you. Penalty-free withdrawals beginning in year 2, penalty-free RMDs, required minimum distribution withdrawals for IRAs. Proceeds passed to theirs without probate or probate fees, so avoiding estate, making it a lot easier to work with. And lastly, again, can't say this enough, safety and security. As I mentioned, we're a conservative investment company. We've been around for over 114 years. Our fixed annuities with, there's several different variations that Mike talked about. Find one that's going to best suit your client's needs. They can never go backwards, never lose their money. They are guaranteed to make interest. So when working with those clients out there in the field, our key piece for this product, we have our life insurance sell sheet. We have our annuity sell sheet. So it's a nice page one snapshot of our products, surrender terms, issue ages. On the back of this product is going to have current interest rates, and you can always find that online. So 2 key pieces when you're out there in the field, both the life sell sheet or the life product sheet and the annuity sell sheet. So we are going to wrap it up with some great scenarios to help paint the picture when these products may be a good fit for your clients. I am going to turn it over to Jenna.
All right, thanks, Jared. Okay, everyone, meet Billy. He is trying to take care of his aging mother, who is 82 years old, and she's interested in a final expense policy. We know the average funeral cost is about $12,000. I know we initially always think about GI. It's easy, right? A policy for her for $12,000 would be $150 a month. In 6 years, she would pay almost $11,000 for a $12,000 policy. Billy's mother is in great health. Mike, we can do better than that, right?
Oh, absolutely. So let's look at what we can do itself. So this was actually a client that called into our office about a week ago, and obviously the names are different, but at the same time, I'm gonna go over what we have to offer. So to sell a policy at that age itself, and especially in this case, the client claimed the mother was in great health, and with their average age of living is honestly going over 90 years of age. We can pretty much assume that she's going to live past that that 6-year mark, where she's basically already paid for the policy herself. Or in this case, Billy and his sister were wanting to split the cost of a life insurance policy. So I told Billy, let's look at a different route. And he goes, okay, what's the situation? And I said, well, I gave him the numbers, and he goes, well, that doesn't really make sense. I said, exactly. So let's look at this. What if you bought a flexible premium deferred annuity? You and your sister split the cost of $1,000 each to put the initial down in, and then you guys fund it. If you're willing to pay $150 a month for it, because in his mind, well, the $150 would seem reasonable, but once he heard the numbers itself, he was like, wow, that doesn't really make sense. You could fund that, and even after 6 years, and we did the number off 6 years, he would have more in that account than he would have had available for a death benefit. And with her going to, let's say, living another 10 years, being 82, so let's say she lives to 92, they would have had more than $20,000 in that account based on that, based on the numbers they were willing to put into it. So it made more sense for them to fund an annuity to cover those expenses than it was to buy life insurance. Made the client a lot happier. It's their money to keep itself. And overall, you did the right thing for the client for the right reason itself. So I know it's not typical what you think about, but this is something that you guys should really think about. And, obviously we gotta love Jim Carrey here, giving us the good old thumbs up right there. But, keep that in mind. That's one scenario.
All right, thanks, Mike. Next, let's talk about Mary, who is married with 2 grown children. She's about to retire. She has a small 401k plan with her company that she would really like to roll over. She's just looking for a small policy that will cover funeral costs and maybe a little vacation for her family. Her budget is $75 a month. Mike, let's do $25,000 in our Simple Solution product, right?
Absolutely not. Check this out. So being the fact Mary is 61 years of age, ultimately, she responded wanting a final expense policy, which in most of our cases is the business we're in itself. But we can do a lot better, and I'll explain why. So based on a $25,000 simplified issue policy that she would qualify for, she would have paid that $75 a month. That's what the cost was for a simplified issue. But let's look at lowering that product down to a $10,000 Simple Solution, or even $12,000 if that's what she wants to. But right now we use $10,000 as an example. That would cost her $33 a month. You go, well, that isn't, that's below her budget. Correct. But then we can add on a 15-year term. Based on the fact she's 61, she qualifies for a 15-year term for $50K for only $35 a month. So now she got 2 products for the price of one, and now she's covered for over 60 grand rather than 25,000. I understand that 15 years itself, she could live past that, and we all hope she does, and she'll lose that 50K. But at the same time, this is a value selling proposition itself. She's getting more coverage for less money itself. So for 15 years, she's covered for 60K. After that, she gets what she wants. She has a policy that covers her burial costs for 10K, and she's still $7 under budget. She's very happy. But also, remember, she just mentioned that she's about to retire. She had mentioned at some point she probably will want to roll that over. that gives you an additional reason to call her, 6 months down the line. I would set a precedent or an appointment with her saying, hey, when you reach 6 months before you retire, I want you to call me. Let's talk about how to roll that plan over to annuity, and you guys can give her those options as well. So that gives you more sales across the board because she's an extremely happy customer because she got more coverage for less, and she can go on forth. Mind blowing. So always keep in mind, there's always things you guys can add into there to make the pot a little sweeter. Because if she was thinking she wanted a little more than 25,000, that's a way to give her an option for it with the same budget she wanted.
All right, thanks, Mike. Great idea. Okay, last up, we have John. John is 45, he's married, and he does not have his own children. But he has 6 nieces and 4 nephews that he really loves and wants to leave each of them 10 grand. He's looking for a policy that totals $200,000, split between his wife and the kiddos. His budget is $140 a month. Now, our whole life plan for $200,000 is $250 a month. What do we do, Mike?
All right, this one, this is actually an example. Unfortunately, I'm sure plenty of us have run into. Client always comes up to us saying they want this, they want that, they want to pay a set price point, and you're looking at all your carriers and going, I don't have an option that for a whole life option, what he's looking for that price point. What can I do? Here's what I did for some of my clients, and they were very happy. Based on the fact that John is 45, he still qualifies for a 30-year term. So that's 30 years of coverage. For a $200,000 term in our product line is $77.18 a month based off his age and his situation. We will cover him to age 75 for that $200,000, which at any point he can convert to whole life. Let's say his job changes, he gets a promotion, he gets more money. You can convert that to our $200,000 whole life at any point in time. But then we're going to tack on the whole life zero refund for $50K. Now, this is the product that Jared was talking about, the lowest cost whole life option we have for the biggest bang for your buck on that aspect. So that would cost $65.07. You add that to the $77.18, and he'll be covered for $250,000 for the next 30 years, $50,000 after that 30-year mark, and he's only $2 over budget. That is a great option for him to have, and gives him an option down the line to convert that policy over and get those conversion credits. And overall, the client is covered for what he wants and then some, and still within his budget range. So everyone likes dancing. I can't dance to save my life, but here's a little video for you to make you realize that there are plenty of options out there that we can look into. So start thinking outside the box, start considering product mix, and seeing what we can do for the clients. I think overall, the more products you have with one client, the more likelihood they are going to stay with you and not change anything across the board throughout the lifetime of their life insurance.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike. Great ideas. And this is just a reminder that we will continue to host these types of webinars. In fact, this one was your idea. So if you have other suggestions or you want us to dive deeper into something, please go ahead and email us at teamsales@sofn.com. That's teamsales@sofn.com. All right, and next up, we have questions.
All right, let's go ahead and open it up to some questions. So a couple questions focusing around our whole life products about participating, non-participating. The easiest way to look at that is all of our products pay dividends with the exception of guaranteed issue and zero refund. And again, I'll say that all of our whole lives pay dividends with the exception of guaranteed issue and zero refund. Payment options on our whole life products are, we have 2 options. You have regular pay or you have the single premium are the payment options. Look through some more questions here. Some questions on term policies. As Mike mentioned, this question probably came in earlier, our term products are renewable and convertible. It's the earlier of the first 20 years of the contract or age 70, and you can do a partial conversion.
We have a question here. Is the recording available? Yes, we will send out this recording within 24 hours. I know some of you liked those examples. You will be able to see them in the recording. So look for that in the next 24 hours or so.
Another question from Field, is Universal Life still available? It is currently still available. It's not on the sell sheet because we are going to be shelving that here in the near future. Currently, that is available, though. Great question. Last question I'm showing here, is there a historical chart for dividends paid on each product? There is not, unfortunately, at this point in time. That is a great idea, but unfortunately we don't have. One thing I will tell you, as a fraternal company, we always have paid dividend each year, but we don't have any history on that.
Can we squeeze in one last question? Is the cash value and a zero refund available for distribution? That's a great question.
Yeah, so with any whole life, they have access, to their cash value. They can take out a loan against that. Keep in mind on that in those scenarios, say you have a $50,000 death benefit, you have $25,000 cash value, or and you take out $10,000 and a loan against that, and they don't pay that back, that loan amount plus interest is going to be deducted from the death benefit.
All right. Any other questions?
All right. Yeah, folks. Any other questions right now? Again, thank you for registering. You are going to get a recording, as we mentioned, of this. Tomorrow on that, register, whether you can attend or not attend, you'll get that recording. Here is our number, our one-stop number to wrap things up, 833-707-0012. Option 2 for the sales team who put this webinar together for you. 1 for customer service, anything in force, and 3 is going to be for new business. You have questions on anything pending. As always, thank you for choosing Sons of Norway. Until our next webinar, stay safe, everyone.